I found another girl's hair in my boyfriend's car. And before you say I was overreacting. No, because deep down, I think girls always know when something feels wrong, even before they have proof. It started on a random Thursday night. Nothing dramatic. Nothing suspicious. At least not at first. My boyfriend Ethan picked me up after work because my car was at the mechanic. I remember being exhausted that day. My makeup looked terrible. My head hurt. And honestly, I just wanted food and sleep. Ethan was acting normal. Too normal. He kissed my forehead when I got into the car, asked about my day, held my hand at red lights. The kind of sweet behavior that makes you feel guilty for doubting someone. But then, I noticed it. A long blonde hair tangled around the passenger seat belt. And the problem was, I have dark brown hair. At first I just stared at it silently. I remember my stomach dropping instantly. It's weird how tiny things can completely change your mood. One second you feel safe. The next second your entire reality feels fake. I picked the hair off the seatbelt slowly and asked, "Whose hair is this?" And I swear, for half a second, Ethan panicked. It was fast. Most people wouldn't notice it. But I did. Because when you love someone, you notice every tiny facial expression. His jaw tightened. His eyes shifted away from me. Then he laughed. Actually laughed. And said, "Probably my coworkers. I drove some people after work yesterday." Simple answer. Normal answer. But something felt rehearsed. I tried to ignore it. I really did. Because when you love someone, your brain becomes desperate to believe them. That night, kept replaying the moment in my head. The hesitation, the panic, the weird energy. But I convinced myself I was insecure. I even apologized to him for asking. Which honestly makes me angry now. Because girls will literally apologize for catching red flags. Over the next few weeks, things got stranger. Ethan started turning his phone away from me. He suddenly began taking late work calls outside. He stopped leaving his phone near me completely. And the biggest red flag? He became overly affectionate. Like suspiciously affectionate. Flowers, compliments, random gifts. Almost like he was compensating for something. One night we were watching Netflix together when his phone buzzed. He grabbed it so fast it almost fell out of his hand. Again, that feeling. That horrible gut feeling. I asked who texted him, and he instantly got defensive. "Why are you acting crazy lately?" Crazy. That word changes everything. Because suddenly you stop trusting yourself instead of questioning them. So I went quiet. But mentally, I started paying attention to everything. Every excuse. Every inconsistency. Every lie. And once you start noticing things, you can't stop. One Saturday morning, Ethan told me he had to go into work unexpectedly. I nodded and acted normal. But the second he left, I checked his location. And he wasn't at work. He was across town, at an apartment complex. I remember staring at my phone in complete silence, trying to convince myself there had to be another explanation. Maybe he was meeting a friend. Maybe work sent him there. Maybe. But deep down, I already knew. Still, I drove there anyway, which was probably the worst decision of my life. I parked across the street and waited in my car like an insane person. An hour passed. Then two. And right when I was about to leave, I saw him, walking out of the building. And he wasn't alone. There was a girl next to him. Blonde. Beautiful blonde hair. The same color as the strand I found in his car. I felt physically sick. But it got worse. Because she kissed him. Not a friendly kiss. Not confusion. Not misunderstanding. A real kiss. The kind people do when they're in love. I think that was the exact moment my heart broke. Not during the confrontation later. Not during the crying. Not during the lies. Right there. Watching him smile at another girl the same way he smiled at me. I couldn't breathe properly. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped my phone. And then suddenly, he looked directly toward my car. For one terrifying second, our eyes met. His entire face changed. Pure panic. I drove away immediately. I didn't want explanations. I didn't want excuses. I just drove. And cried harder than I've ever cried in my life. You know what hurts the most about cheating? It's not even the other person. It's realizing someone looked you in the eyes every day while lying effortlessly. That realization destroys your ability to trust reality itself. Ethan called me over 30 times that night. I ignored every single call. Then the text started. Please let me explain. It's not what you think. I love you. That one almost made me laugh. Because people really will betray you and still claim it's love. Around midnight, there was knocking on my apartment door. I already knew it was him. When I opened the door, he looked terrified, like his life was falling apart. Funny how cheaters suddenly become emotional when they face consequences. He started crying immediately. Actual tears. And for a second, I almost felt bad for him. That's the scary part about manipulation. Even after betrayal, they make you feel guilty. He admitted he had been seeing her for 6 months. 6 months. Half a year. While taking me on dates. Sleeping next to me. Talking about our future. But then he said something that made everything even worse. He told me, she doesn't know about you either. I just stared at him. Because somehow, he managed to destroy 2 girls at the same time. Apparently he met her through work. At first it was just flirting. Then it became emotional. Then physical. Classic cheater progression. And the craziest part, he claimed he loved both of us. Which honestly might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because love without honesty is just manipulation. I asked him why he stayed with me if he wanted someone else. And his answer haunted me. He said, "You made me feel safe. She made me feel excited." That sentence genuinely changed me as a person. Because I realized some people don't cheat because you're not enough. They cheat because they are addicted to validation. They constantly need attention, excitement, ego boosts. And no matter how loyal or beautiful or loving you are, you can never fill a hole inside someone who hates themselves. I told him to leave. And surprisingly, he did. No fighting. No screaming. Just silence. The next few weeks were horrible. I couldn't eat properly. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't even listen to music without crying. Everything reminded me of him. The restaurants. The songs. Even stupid little things like certain streets. Heartbreak is genuinely embarrassing. You become emotionally destroyed over someone who lied to your face. But then something unexpected happened. About a month later, I got a message request on Instagram from the blonde girl. At first my heart started racing. I thought she was going to insult me, blame me, hate me. Instead, her message said, "I didn't know about you. I'm so sorry." And honestly, that message healed something inside me. Because suddenly I realized, neither of us were the problem. He was. We ended up talking for hours. Apparently he had been lying to her too. Different lies. Different stories. Same manipulation. And the craziest part, he cheated on her too. With another girl. Which honestly felt like the universe proving a point. People like that don't stop. They just keep searching for new attention until they destroy themselves. A few months later, I heard Ethan lost his job. Apparently workplace drama exposed everything. And suddenly, the guy who thought he could juggle multiple women at once couldn't even manage his own life. Meanwhile, I slowly started rebuilding myself. I started going to the gym again, started eating better, started spending more time with friends, and eventually, I stopped checking his social media, stopped caring who he was with, stopped replaying memories in my head, and one day I realized something. Finding that blonde hair was actually the best thing that ever happened to me. Because without it, I probably would have stayed with a liar for years. So yeah, if your intuition keeps screaming at you, listen to it. Because sometimes one tiny clue can expose an entire fake relationship.